Good evening. Before we begin, let's take a few moments to be quiet together. Good evening, and welcome to everyone who's joining us on the internet. In a gathering in Australia, I shared this statement: I am the Christ, but I am not a Christian. I am the Christ, and I am your brother. I am not a Catholic. I'm not a Muslim. I'm not a Buddhist. I am your brother. And no matter what church you go to, no matter what religion you embrace, you are my brother. You are the direct expression of the source of being, whether it's called Allah or God, no matter what the name. The first cause, that before which nothing was or is. You are not responsible for your being. The divine source is. And as the direct expression of that divine source, you are the Christ. You are my brother. And I am yours. This brotherhood is undivided. The color of one's skin, the religious faith one embraces, makes no difference. It changes not what you are. Because that which is embracing God in whatever form it's done is what I'm related to. And it is what every one of you is related to each other. And this brotherhood is one. This brotherhood is unified. The multiplicity of individualities does not constitute special differentness. It's the way in which the presence of God finds expression through each of us that the magnificence of being is expressed. Now, this is the truth. It is what I'm here to share, to illuminate. to educate, to bring forward. And as each one of us chooses to connect with the divinity of each of us, as each one of you connects with the divinity in you, your connectedness with God, you do not become a sameness. You do not then become a brotherhood of monotonous sameness. Because the wholeness of God finds expression through individuality, which is indivisible. It takes every single one of us to be the brotherhood. It takes every single one of us to be brothers and sisters relating to each other from our brotherhood, our brotherliness, our familyness. And this is what is on the threshold of mankind's experience. Now, at the present time, it would seem that the brotherhood, that mankind, as it were, as a whole, is greatly conflicted. Brotherhood, unity, is not being experienced, and the opposite is being promoted. Separation, nationalism, division, walls, us and them, acceptable and unacceptable, allies, enemies. And the suggestion is that to overcome the dissonance, further disintegration must occur. Further disintegration, the undoing of harmonious alliance, must be brought to the fore. It's wrong. And the word no must be brought into play. Now, it's important for me to be very clear. When you listen for the voice for truth, when you set aside your educated and conditioned thinking, and you become silent so that you can reach for the divinity of yourself, the Holy Spirit in you. When you do this, you will not become allowing of anything and everything, you will not hear that conflict is illusion, meaningless, it isn't real, and therefore you need do nothing about it. You will hear that intelligence is essential and unintelligence must be rejected. You will hear to say yes to intelligence and no to unintelligence. When you listen for the voice for truth at times is going to say no. And you must voice it. If you live in the United States, or most of the civilized world, and you look at Russia or Korea or any other country antagonistic to democracy, you will have no problem saying that the leaders of those countries must be stopped in their attempt to undo this democracy. If you live in Russia or North Korea or in the United States, even, you will find those who say that democracy is not something that should be said yes to. The underpinnings of democracy, which really means the harmony of the infinite oneness of the brotherhood, must be undermined, must be abandoned in favor of individualism, in favor of nationalism, in favor of me first. And it's being presented as though this is a forward step, a step that it has taken too long to embrace and actualize. It is being presented as though it is the modern, advanced way of conceiving existence. And it is destructive. And it must be said no to. Those who value intelligence, integrity, honesty, must say no to dishonesty and the absence of integrity and the aggressive expression of unintelligence. This is very important. You must realize that the ego the thinking mind that is already a state of independence, an imaginary one, but nevertheless a practiced state of mind, is intent upon saying no to unity, intelligence, harmony, and brotherhood. It says no to everything that would bring forth and illuminate the presence of God and restore everyone back to their right mind. The ego is a denial of the divinity, the holiness, the Christhood of every single individuality. Its job is to say no to God and yes to arrogant, independent, self-satisfied, self-seeking, assertions. Made for the purpose of being in control. Now the voice for truth is going to be a calm, quiet, grounded, principled, unchallengeable no to the voice for fear, the ego. And it won't do it with aggression. It will do it by saying yes to God, by giving the attention to that which everything is the effect of, the manifestation of, the expression of. So, it's very important. It is absolutely essential at this time to say no to divisiveness, to boundaries, to distinctions of us and them. And there must be a vocal demand, an expression of the need for that which reduces fear so that intelligence can be shared and restores to the brotherhood the presence of love that everyone who is in a state of fear feels the loss of. Right now, the promotion of division, separation, independence, is appealing to fear. fear felt. Because of lack of one sort or another. But the solution doesn't come from appealing to fear and promoting aggressive independence. It comes by replacing the fear with a communion of love shared with those experiencing the lack that's causing the fear, and inspiring them out of their fear. There is no education occurring at the moment. There is no promotion, at least not with the depth and breadth that's called for, of that which inspires and illuminates cause for hope. But that's what's needed. The leaders of democratic societies need to be tending to and addressing the felt need for love that's causing those feeling its absence to be tempted by the bravado and the encouragement to feel the dissatisfaction and correct the problem with force. In other words, conflict with each other, conflict between the suffering ones and the abundant ones, as it's perceived. Now, I can't put it any more succinctly than that. People in democratic countries shouldn't be existing in a state of mind where they are afraid of totalitarian countries. And those in totalitarian countries need like all those who feel the need for control, need some brothers. You see, not Christians or Mohammedans or Buddhists or Catholics or whites or blacks or yellows or reds, but brothers, whose function it is to express love because the love is felt. And it's felt because independence has been abandoned in favor of silencing human will, silencing the thinking, and listening, desiring to know the truth, so that all fear leaves the one seeking the truth, and he or she can see clearly the divinity of his brother or her brother and sister, and as a result can behave in a way that allows for the brother or sister in fear to feel safe enough to abandon the fear. This is the way it works. This is the crux, which I've described as a threshold that we're moving over. The word no and the meaning of no must be expressed. The unwillingness to embrace and validate what is unchristlike in your brother or sister must not be withheld because you recognize that your brother is the Christ. You know, saying no to unity, saying no to reason, saying no to truth, cannot accomplish healing, cannot accomplish resolution, cannot restore harmony, cannot uncover the kingdom of heaven right here and right now to every single one of us. Don't tolerate it. Don't say, well, there's nothing I can do. Yes, there is. You can say no. With every fiber of your being, you can refuse to validate the unchristlike in the Christ, which is every single one of us. And the unchristlike behavior must be stopped. To not be sitting on the fence in your mind. To be clear in your mind because you've chosen to listen for the voice for truth is the leaven that will leaven the whole lump, that will restore harmony, Because the fewer there are, the fewer and fewer and fewer there are who are choosing to operate from a stance of separateness from the Father, weakens the capacity of the remaining independents, TS, to maintain their imaginary stance. But you know what? It's not enough to just be conscious of it. It must be expressed. The voice for fear is not hesitating to express itself. And in a way, it's feeling overwhelming because it's getting such publicity. Well, the voice for truth needs to be expressed because it is healing. And it is healing because it is educational. It is healing because it illuminates reason and intelligence and principle and love and indivisible life. Now, the world is calling for this right now. Awakening, something that all spiritual seekers happily embrace the seeking of, is called for. That which everyone is wanting to embrace and actualize, we'll say, is the thing that is called for right now. In rather desperate ways on your globe. Now, my words, my thoughts, are coming out of the mouth of Paul in the state of Washington, in the United States. But I'm not an American Christ, and I'm not here to speak to Americans. I am the brother of every single individuality on your globe and elsewhere. I am your brother. You are my brothers and sisters. Because we have the same Father, and our Christhood is derived from Him. I am here to restore the unity of the brotherhood that has never actually been lost, but the experience of it, and we'll say the memory of it, seems unavailable because there is so much arrogant, self-serving, manipulative, controlling behavior being practiced with great commitment for no good reasons. The thing, all those on their spiritual path, the thing that everyone wants is sitting in your lap, saying, actualize me. Your divinity is called upon. And instead of seeking it, it's time to let it in and out. Let it fill you up and let it find expression through you, unequivocal expression. The saying is that the thing I so greatly feared has come upon me. Well, the thing you have so greatly wanted has come upon you. That's where everyone is at. The thing you so greatly wanted has come upon you. It's time to be the miracle. It's time to be the sudden shift of perception that shifted because you let God in and abandoned the great commitment you have had to your own personal, private capacity to think and come to conclusions, imaginative though they are, all by yourself. And so, I'm going to end tonight by saying rejoice. The thing you have most greatly wanted has come upon you. I love you all, and I look forward to being with you next time.